Hey guys, what is going on? It's xckj here today, bringing to you guys an October meta video. We are halfway through the month at the time of this video's release, so I feel like it is a good time to kind of just be talking about what champions are really good this month, what champions aren't that great this month, and who should you play in ranked, and who should you be banning in ranked, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to work our way through from the damages all the way to the healers, and just talk about champions, talk about team comps. We're going to be covering everything meta that we possibly can in this video, so let's jump right into it. Starting out with the damages, also we're not going to be talking about Sadi today since she is not in ranked yet, although I think she's a really good damage and she has a lot of potential. Starting out though, we are going to be talking about Cassie, man. Cassie is absolutely killing it right now. Probably my favorite damage, actually 100% is my favorite damage. Victor is up there, but Victor is not like super meta right now. Not as meta as Cassie is. Victor's strong, but not as strong as Cassie. Basically, you're going to be playing. I mean, her talents are really kind of interchangeable. She's one of the strange champions where you can be playing any of her talents and not throwing with her. I feel like personally, Impulse is kind of really strong right now. It gives you that burstiness. We still are in a pretty bursty meta. Lets you kill healers like Grover pretty quickly. It really helps you get the picks on the healers, which is kind of where this meta seems to be shaping right now. Like first team to kill the healer kind of wins the whole entire team fight is what it seems like right now. Exaction is also super strong if you are good with Cassie. You guys can check some of my streams prior to this. I play a lot of Exaction Cassie over Impulse, but Exaction is a little bit harder. One of the things that has made Cassie just shoot up super strong is the buffs that she received this patch. As far as your builds that you're going to be playing on her, I think Roll is this build right here is pretty good if you are playing. Let me see here. Yeah, this build is awesome if you are going to be playing Exaction Cassie, and then if you want to play Impulse Cassie, the Blast Shot build that I have right here is definitely the way to go. Blast Shower is pretty much the only necessary card, although I kind of feel like Somerset at 3 is kind of a necessity as well. So, yeah, I really love Cassie right now. Not really worth the ban because I feel like a lot of people aren't playing her for some reason. They're opting to play like Leon over her and maybe Tyra over her right now, which gets me into my next meta champion, which is going to be Leon. Leon's easy to play, auto aim, does some serious damage, has an okayish ult, not as good as Cassie's, but an okayish ult, especially the fact that she can just keep on cycling it as long as she gets kills with it. As far as the talents go, I mean, Alacrity seems to be what everybody's playing. Eminence is decent if you are on a map like, let's say, Splitstone Quarry or something like that, somewhere where you're going to be able to have some distance. But Alacrity is definitely just the go-to talent that people are playing. So Alacrity Leon is really great. If you want to get a champion that's going to be fairly easy to pick up and you're going to do pretty well on her and be able to climb in ranked, Leon is your go-to for that situation. As far as your build that you're going to be playing on her, this is a great build for Alacrity. Pretty much just reduces the cooldown of your dash to be able to just shoot everybody in front of you and do a ton of damage. And that's the thing, like, when you have that talent, when you have that ability on like a 3-second cooldown and your right click is on a 5-second cooldown, you're not even going to have to use your primary gun, which already is hit scan, to hit that much. You're going to be able to just be using your abilities to hit shots, and as long as you're looking at the people, you're going to hit them. Not to mention, Eminence, your Q, or, the big shot that you have, is huge hitbox, and your ult is a huge hitbox. It's very hard to not play Leon well once you get the combos down. Moving on, we also have Tyra here. Tyra is just a pretty big pick right now. I see a lot of people playing Burn Monster. Mercy Kill is still really good, although it did get nerfed recently. Still think it's pretty good. People are playing Burn Monster just because of the zoning tools it does give. You kind of just are able to put your fire in a spot, and then that spot has been completely shut down. If anybody stands on it at all, they 100% are going to die. If you do want to play a Firebomb build, you can be playing In the Fray, this build I have right here, or if you want to play a what the heck, why can't I think of the name, the Nade Launcher build, you know what I'm talking about, Mercy Kill, yeah, Mercy Kill maybe, you could just play this build right here. Just basically all you need is Bandolier on 5 and In the Fray on 5. Both of these two are going to kind of be necessary for the build and in order to abuse what it does as well as it does it, just giving you that 20% damage reduction for such a long time, because damage reduction is kind of nuts. Some honorable mentions right now. Hurl Dredge is kind of a sleeper pick if you are wanting to pick up something like that. Me personally, I've been enjoying Nessa a lot lately. Other than that, nobody super relevant to talk about. Shaolin makes waves here and there with some one tricks and stuff, but I definitely think that as far as damages, that's the people to be looking at. Moving on to the flanks. Things in the flank department really haven't changed that much, other than the fact that we now have Vaatu in the game. Like, the dominant flanks are still the dominant flanks that they have been for a while. Androxus is just murdering people. So good. Crazy ult, crazy movement, hit scan damage, hit headshots, do 1,000 damage. Like, he's crazy. He's so good. And he just will continue to be good because he's Androxus and he does Androxus things. Vora is nuts. And when I say nuts, like, Vora is the 1v1 champion. I don't know if there's any other champion in the game that can 1v1 Vora in an actual 5v5 scenario. I know, like, when you're playing at Throne Room and stuff like that, sure, there's other champions that can beat Vora. But in an actual 5v5 situation, Vora is able to get on top of the healer, kill the healer in 2 seconds, and get out. And then you're like, all right, well, my job's done. We just completely win the team fight. Because, like I said before, we are currently in a kill the healer meta right now. Once the healer dies, the game is the team fight is practically over. Everybody has to retreat. The sustain is gone, and the fights are happening like it seems like it's a big slugfest right now with all the shields that we do have in the game, and because of that, the healers are just so important. So Vora is super good because of that. Honestly, Xin is kind of fallen out of favor for a lot of people. Don't think he's as good as he was, so I guess that is one champion that kind of is falling down, but do not take what I'm not saying. Xin is still very good, and you should be scared of him. Now, to our first ban-worthy champion. Vaatu should be banned in every single one of your games. If he's not, somebody should be playing him. The Vaatu one tricks, I am not one of them, but the Vaatu one tricks that are out there are scary, man, and they can do some serious damage. They can just shred entire teams. Like, I said Vora can get on top of healers and kill them, but then she has no more abilities. Vaatu, on the other hand, can shred the healer, kill him, and then just move straight to the damage and kill him instantly. Literally, you don't even, like, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Vaatu is super scary, should be banned in all your games. If you are a good Vaatu, and I mean like a good Vaatu, not like, oh yeah, I'm a good flank player. Yeah. No. Like, if you're actually a good flank player, man, Vaatu is the way to go. All right, I just remembered. I got to show you guys some builds. As far as Vora goes, Relentless Presence is the talent that 100% you're going to be picking. And my Double Vines build, this is a build that works super well on Vora. If you want to copy it, you could just take the pause the video right there. As far as Androxus goes, Curse Revolver is still the way to go. Although Godslayer is a decent talent, don't let a Godslayer Andro be like, oh, he's playing Godslayer, he's bad, because that's not necessarily how it works. And then as far as like my build that I've been playing this recently, just through the Warp on 5, Abyss Walker on 4, Elusive on 4, and then these two are kind of one-ofs, so you can switch them into whatever you want. Moving on to our tanks. Right now, tanks are pretty much set in how the tank meta is kind of shaping up right now. Fernando, in my opinion, is still #1 tank. Cyboric in our streams plays him a ton, man. Like, he is playing. Cyboric is always playing around trying to get the Fernando, which I completely support that. We usually get like a Fernando Grover duo, and it's practically over from there. Aegis is still the talent that you're gonna want to be playing. If you do get Fernando, play him point. If you have to play him off tank, you can always go Scorch. But I would say, like, if you do get him, you should be playing him point using Aegis. And honestly, you could just be using this frontline build right here. Just the fact of Aegis being such a strong talent is what makes him good. The build does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as that other stuff. But, yeah, so this is what oh, sorry. Is this what I'm playing right here? No, it's definitely the other one. All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't leading you guys astray. This is practically useless now. Towering Barrier is useless while playing Aegis, so do not pick that by any means. As far as the other great point tanks go, we do have Barrack right here as well. You're going to be playing Fortify or Forge Fire. Really depends on how you're feeling like playing him. I do see Tanker and Barrack sometimes, but me personally, I'm playing Fortify when I do play in Point Tank. Forge Fire, it's just kind of weird. It makes his ult so underwhelming. The Forge Fire ult seems to just not do enough unless you're playing against very niche champions such as Yagarath. Then Forge Fire is like nuts. But against any other champion, Fortify seems to be the way to go. Being able to increase your shield by 2,000 and reduce that cooldown by 3 seconds. That reduced 3-second cooldown is delicious. Anyway, as far as the build that we're playing, we basically have moved to an old school barrack build. We're not really playing it the way that it used to be. We're now just playing Bull and Ball on 4 with fuel efficiency on 3, double time on 3, failsafe on 4, and healing station on 1. This is a very old school type barrack, not the way that I was playing him when I was like one tricking on barrack, and we were basically just playing like this whole 3 of weird little like self-sustained standing on the point using these turrets to just really knock away at our opponent. We're not really playing that way of barrack anymore. We are back to just dashing around the entire point, making it hard to hit us, getting some sustain through the dash and not through the turrets anymore, which I do like as a refreshing change on barrack, as he was kind of getting stale after, you know, we kind of had solved barrack, you know. Anyway, moving on to the next point tanks. I mean, these are really just the 2 point tanks that are dominant. Like, Inara is Inara. She does Inara things. Everybody knows her build. She just does Inara stuff. That's the other point tank. Other than that, none of the other point tanks are super great right now. Terminus is kind of a little bit lackluster after he got like 10 nerfs in a row recently. Moving on to the off tanks. Makoa is the number 1 off tank. Oh, so if you guys didn't get that before, Vaatu and Nando are the 2 like go-to bans right now. Makoa is the number 1 off tank in my opinion right now. I see a lot of pluck players recently, but half shell is the way to go 100%. And as far as a build, you're just going to be playing this barrier reef build. His hooks are too good to not play. I had a crazy game with him the other day. He's so good. Like, there's no reason not to be picking him if you are going to end up playing off tank. Honourable mentions Ash, definitely. Khan is killing it in the off tank department. His ult is just so good. It does kind of feel like right now more aggressive off tanks seem to be a little bit better. Khan is kind of, for like the first time in a while, starting to fall back, but by no, like, again, kind of the same as Zin, like, still very, very strong, still busted. Like, if you get a Khan on your team, you have a very good off tank. Don't, but Storm of Bullets is what you're still playing on him. You're kind of doing the same thing. Vortex Grip is still garbage, and Leon Steel Shield is still garbage, and you're just playing the Storm build. Kind of same stuff you were playing. Although I think Close and Personal is bugged, so you can kind of switch it out for something else. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something with more ammo or more heals, something like that. Reduce cooldown of Battle Shout, or heal for 80 after activating Battle Shout. That might work too. I think that this is bugged, so maybe don't be playing that. But anyway, yeah, Khan is still pretty great. Rom, kind of a little bit lackluster. Atlas is super strong right now, so you can definitely be playing Atlas. Moving on to the healers. So, number 1 healer in the game, in my opinion right now, is Grover. Grover is nutty. He can dash across a map. That's one thing right there. Second, his heals are pretty great. The fact he can heal through walls. He gives a decent burst heal, and on top of all of this, he gives out that solid root. He did get hurt pretty bad this patch, but even still, Deep Roots is still absolutely killing it. They did fix the bug where he was able to root CC immune champions, which is like fine by me. I hated playing against Grover for a while. I was banning him like in all my games. This testing build right here is what I am currently playing. I kind of actually like Perennial on 1. I was trying to figure out some stuff of like, I was just trying to figure out some stuff. I heal literally on cooldown pretty much. I'm ready to give a heal the second it comes off to a champion that's not under cauterized. And because of that, I'm like, alright, Perennial on 1 just lets me do it, every time I give a heal, it's happening instantly. So every 3 heals saves me a second. And it definitely adds up over the entire time of the game. So I like it a lot. Moving on to the next champion. As far as other meta, we got Damba. Damba is really good right now. You're going to be playing I can't think of the name of the talent. Give me 2 seconds here. You're going to be playing Spirits Chosen, of course. Ripen Gourd is kind of just meh. It just helps the point tanks and nobody else. So Spirits Chosen is the way to go. And then you're going to be playing my DR heal build here. Eerie Presence is a great 4 of card. I see people playing on 3, see people playing on 5. In my opinion, playing on 4 is the way to go. Progression on 4, Swift Spirits on 4. If you're not playing Swift Spirits in your Damba build, seriously, what are you doing, man? The 20% movement speed is awesome. Mini Gourds is a pretty good card to have on 2. That's what I like playing. Just gives my Gourd a little bit lower cooldown. Moving on, we got Io. Io's pretty good right now. Ray seems to be pretty good for people who know how to play her well. I play her a decent amount, but I'm not super great with her. Corvus is okay. He's not that great. Kind of underwhelming heals. His ult is easy to dodge, but still good zoning. Saris, on the other hand, is like heal bot city. If you don't know how to play healer, or you just need to fill healer, just play Saris every game. I'm not even joking. You're going to get stupid heals, and trust me, your team will be happy that you're playing Saris. You're going to be happy that you're playing Saris, because if you lose a game, it's not going to be because of you. It's going to be because somebody else is lackluster. Where champions like Grover, Grok, Damba, even Furia, not really Corvus, kind of Ray a little bit, are actually able to play aggressively, and as much as they're able to heal, are also able to damage and kind of help out the team in that way a little bit. Saris is not able to do that, but as far as how much she heals, she definitely makes up for it. So if you just need to fill healer and you play Saris and then your team ends up dying because, or you end up losing the game, it's not going to be because of Saris heals. Let me tell you that much. It might be because of something else where you're not going to be able to pick up because you are playing Saris, if that makes any sense. All right, let's move on to like some meta team comps right now. Basically, we're looking at damage, flank, double tank, single healer. We're kind of back to that again. Really, double healer is out of the meta completely. I don't see it at all. If you're playing it, you probably just shouldn't be playing it. You should just be playing the 2 tanks, 1 damage, 1 flank, and a healer. Usually you'll hear me say like 2 damages, 2 tanks, 1 healer is great, but honestly, I'm thinking right now in the current meta that we're in, the flanks are just so important. If you do go for a double damage, make sure that one of your damages have flanking potential. Maybe it's a BK, or it's an Amani, or it's a Cassie, somebody with a lot of a lot of mobility on top of it. But you're better off with like playing a flank with vertical mobility. Like if you got a Vora, an Andros, a Vaatu, a Maeve, an Eevee, anybody like that, even a Buck for that matter, like. It's just so important right now to be able to kill the healer, and that's why I really think the flanks are kind of important right now, because you really lose this with playing a lot of the damages. Like Amani, you get it a little bit. Drogo's it's slow vertical. It kind of doesn't even count as much as like dashing in that direction. Willow is honestly kind of good with some of her ults, but like it's Willow. Her dead zone is what makes her good. And other than that, man, she's just Willow. But anyway, let me know what you guys did think about this meta analysis for the month of October. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and sub. And do not forget, I stream every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you guys all there. Peace.